Hello and welcome to another video here at Nature Affinity. My name is Seth, and on this channel we help others to align with the affinity of nature. In this video, I'm going to go over 7 things to let go of to instantly raise your vibration. Now, the first thing is, like the great Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, everything in this universe is energy, vibrating at a specific frequency. With that being said, the first thing to let go of to instantly raise your vibration is drinking non-alkaline water. There have been many studies done on different cultures throughout the world. These cultures drink mineralized spring water that is very alkaline, and the people in these places, they have a very high longevity. They live a very long time and they have very healthy lives up until what we think is old age, which, even if you're 80 years old, you're still pretty young. It's a drop in the ocean of eternity. So that's the first thing to let go of, is drinking non-alkaline water. Drinking pure spring water, or water that has been alkalized through a purification device, will instantly, just like that, raise your vibration. And to go along with this, it pairs up very nicely, is eating more higher vibration foods or whole foods. Get the blueberries in there, get the chia seeds in there. Personally, I love smoothies for this. There's nothing wrong with eating meat or dairy or whatever else you want to eat, but you got to get those superfoods in there to instantly raise your vibration. Like blueberries, chia seeds, avocados, grapes, strawberries, and the list goes on. Flax seeds, hemp seeds, spirulina. All these things, ingesting these and putting them in a smoothie, for example, I love to use Organifi in my chia seed smoothies, for example. Now, that might not be for you. You might have another way of doing this, but personally, I love smoothies. They instantly raise my vibration. Eating all that whole food goodness ground up in a smoothie, hell yeah. Freaking amazing. And with that being said, even if you want to eat something off the dollar menu, that's okay. It's fine, as long as you're not doing it all the time. It's about what you feel about it. If you feel called to eat a hamburger from Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever, it's fine. Do that. But it's about what you think about it. If you think, oh, I'm eating such a piece of junk or whatever, then it will bring you down. It will make you feel heavy when you eat it. But if you think, this is food, and you really appreciate that thing, even if it's something cheap and processed off of the dollar menu, if you really break it down and really appreciate it, then it will bring you up, even though it's what could be perceived as crappy food. It's about what you make of it. And that, if you change your thinking about the food that you're eating, and also have those superfoods in your diet, it will instantly raise your vibration. So that was a lot for just the first one. But the second thing to let go of to instantly raise your vibration is attachment to negative thinking and emotions. For example, I'll give you an example from my own experience, that I would be attached to anger and frustration. I would say, I am frustrated, or I am angry. And that's where I went wrong. There's nothing wrong with feeling those emotions. You got to let those emotions flow. You can't attach them. As soon as you say, I am, whatever you put after that, you are. So simply let those emotions flow through you. Allow yourself to feel them and let them go to instantly raise your vibration. As soon as you say, I am angry, you're attaching to that emotion, ruminating on it, and you're not letting it go. It's bringing you down. But if you feel angry about something, it's okay. Allow that emotion to flow. And you can even transmute it into something positive or something constructive. Like anger is a very powerful emotion, which emotion is energy in motion. So therefore, with that being said, you transmute that energy. I'm going to go into more depth about transmutation of energy in another video, because that would be too long for this one. But it's a really, really powerful technique. If you can transmute that and not say, I am angry, acknowledge that that is what you're feeling, and say, this too shall pass. Allow it to flow through you and let it go. Instantly raise your vibration. Now, the third thing to let go of to instantly raise your vibration is being indecisive. Now, for a long time, I was extremely indecisive. Like people would ask me, like, "Hey, Seth, like, what do you want? Or what do you want to do today, or whatever? Like, what kind of vision do you have for your life?" I said, I don't know. Like, I didn't even think about it. I was very indecisive. I would never make a decision because I never really understood the power of making a decision. But if you get that inspired thought to act on something, and you'll know what I mean, it's unmistakable. Inspired thought to act on something, make a decision to act on it. And when you make a decision to act on it, instantly it raises your vibration. It's like Bob Proctor said. He said, if you're thinking here and your goal is up here, you can never achieve it. There's too big of a vibrational gap there. But if you make a decision that you are worth it and that this is a goal, like, you're gonna literally line up with your goal. Because the second that you make that decision, it flips your brain onto a completely different frequency. And then you're lined up with that thing that you've decided to go for. So when you have an inspired action that comes to you, make that decision to act upon it, to instantly raise your vibration. Now, the fourth thing to let go of to instantly raise your vibration is activities that do not serve you. Now, I'm not saying never go watch television or never play video games or anything like that. Far from it. I think it's important to actually incorporate that into your experience in a healthy manner. But for me, like, I used to spend way too much time playing video games, like literally hours. Like, I would get off work and like hours and hours and hours, like the whole time. I would get super high on marijuana and I would play video games and laugh at people raging on there. I'd be like, ha ha ha, you guys are funny, you're raging at a video game. And then sometimes I would get super mad, right? Like, because I would get way too into it, and then I'd be like laughing at myself. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm taking this way too seriously. That's an example from my own experience about how an activity became something that was not serving me, as I spent way too much time on it. Like, if I just spent like a half an hour playing video games every once in a while, cool. If I spent a half an hour on the television, or an hour watching Game of Thrones or watching a movie, whatever, right? Like, it's cool. But be careful what you expose yourself to. Because when people think of diet, they always think of food. But it's everything that you expose yourself to in your senses. The types of stuff that you watch on the computer, on the television, it tells lies to your vision. And what you really need to be aware of is how you're feeling when you're watching certain stuff. And if you find that it's making you feel heavy, then letting go of doing that for a while is going to instantly raise your vibration. With that being said, the fifth thing to let go of to instantly raise your vibration is people that do not serve you. And this is pretty much the same thing. It's like, okay, you got to draw those energetic boundaries and say, okay, enough is enough. If somebody, every single time that you are around them, they're bringing you down, they're gossiping about whatever, they're having they're basically bringing you down to their level, and then you leave that interaction feeling heavy or lower. So be aware of how other people make you feel when you spend time with them. And if you find that somebody's making you feel heavy, making you feel low about yourself or something in your life, not spending time with that person for a while is going to instantly raise your vibration. I like to say, I love everybody. I really do. From the deepest part of my heart, I love everybody. But some people, I can only love at a distance. With that being said, the sixth way to instantly raise your vibration, to let go of this particular thing, is non-forgiveness. Non-forgiveness. When you are unable to forgive, it makes you feel heavy. And now, this is a tough subject for everybody. Everybody has trouble with forgiveness. Now, I'm going to share with you, from my own experience, a way that I have found to cultivate forgiveness. And I've found that I could never forgive anybody for any wrongdoings that they may have done towards me until I forgave myself for acting a certain way or being a certain way. I couldn't forgive anybody until I actually got to the point that I could forgive myself. And as soon as I got to that point, like I became empathetic with myself to say, okay, Seth, you may have acted terribly in that situation because you're holding on to some lower emotion like anger, and done stuff that you may not otherwise have done. But you, from that place, did that thing from that vibrational place that you were at. And I empathized with myself and said, okay, I am no longer in that place, but I know where I was, and it's okay. It has to be okay to allow that. You have to allow that process, because pretty much anybody, when they look back on their past selves, they're like, oh my God, why did I do that thing? Or why did I frickin' do like such and such, right? But you have to get to that place where you empathize with yourself, your past self, and say, okay, I did that thing at that time, or I because I was feeling this emotion and I was attaching to it, and I started to rage at this person or do some other kind of weird stuff that you're like, what the hell, why would I do that? Like, you got to empathize with that and say, from that point in time, this was where I was at in my vibration, and that is okay. Because now I'm looking back on it and saying, wow. Like, you can even look back on it and say, look at how much I've evolved, and celebrate that. empathize with your past self, forgive your past self for anything that has happened that you might be like, oh my God, like that was freaking ridiculous that even happened, or I even allowed myself to feel that way or do that thing. But you got to forgive yourself. You got to learn that first before you can forgive anybody else in your life. And once you've forgiven yourself, it becomes easy to forgive others. Because once you empathize with yourself, every single person is a reflection of that. And that is the most important relationship to work on, is the relationship between yourself and yourself. I hope that makes sense. The relationship between yourself and yourself, right? Your now self and the things that you've done in the past, or the things that you felt in the past, or allowed yourself to attach to that feeling, it has to be okay. You have to be at peace with it. And once you get to that place of peace within yourself, it becomes easy to empathize with others and say, okay, that person did that thing because that's where they were at that time in their evolution, and that's where their vibration was aligned with that specific thing that happened. And that being said, once you get to that place of forgiveness, your vibration instantly increases. Now, the seventh thing to let go of in raising your vibration instantly is not spending time with animals. Now, I have done this in the past. Like I've just not spent time with animals or wanted to be around animals, and now in my own self I'm like, why would I be like why would I be like that? I just want, like, I got a problem with kitties and puppies, okay? And my problem with kitties and puppies is I don't have enough hands to pet them all at the same time, because they're all so darn cute. And I'm like, okay, so my partner Crystalline, she has this black cat named Shadow, and every single time that I see him, like even if I'm like feeling down or in like a bad emotional place, he jumps up, like he demands to jump up on my shoulders. He demands it. And so he gets up on my shoulders and he's like wrapped around me and I'm petting him and he's purring. Instantly raises my vibration. So spend time with animals. Show your love to animals to instantly raise your vibration. And now, I actually got to throw this in. It's a bonus one, okay? A bonus one. You could say it's number 8. Let go of not breathing deeply. You got to breathe deeply, that fresh air, and really appreciate it. Every breath that you take. Because when you breathe deeply, it instantly raises your vibration. Breath is a powerful tool to instantly raise your vibration. You notice if you're ever feeling stressed out about something, or like if you really start to pay attention, you'll notice that you're always breathing shallow when you feel stressed out. Like you're not hyperventilating a lot of the time. Sometimes you might be. That's happened to me in my experience. I've gotten to the point where I have been hyperventilating when I've been stressed out. And I'm like, as soon as you consciously focus inwards and take a few deep breaths, instantly raises your vibration. It's another beautiful day here in the heart of nature. I'm just chilling out here by Little Qualicum River. I had to go a ways away from the river because it's really loud right now. There's a lot of water coming down. But I had to get to that place where I was a little ways away from it. But you can probably hear it in the back of the video. And we're chilling out here with the birds. I'm showing a lot of love to these birds right now. I'm like, hell yeah. It's springtime. Let's go. It's starting to get warmer out. I'm excited about that. Warmer and longer days. Longer days is freaking amazing. With that being said, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, share it with somebody else who you feel might find value also. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And enjoy another beautiful day here in paradise. Doesn't get any better than this. Peace.